Hi, welcome back. So this is a exercise video for the forms data that we learned in the previous lecture. So there are a lot of things in that lecture, and hence it will be better if you complete an exercise on it first before you proceed further. So here's the thing that you will have to make. You'll have to make a simple form with an H1 giving this large heading. You'll have to give this small description up top. And you'll have to have four different fields of input. The first, and you can see that when I'm clicking on any one of them, the input gets selected, right? So the first is name. So here you will enter your normal text. Next is the birth month. You can select a date here. Like let's select May 2019. And the next is city. You will enter Delhi. And then enter your password. Here enter anything, and then you can press give data. So the thing that's tricky in this is that you can see the name, birth month, city are compulsory, but the password is optional. And if you try submitting like this, you see that it tells you to first enter the name. Please fill in this field. If you do it, it tells you to fill in the birth month. If you do that, it tells you to enter the city. If you try to submit, if you enter that, then you can enter without entering the password. So this is something I did not teach you in the last video. You could try searching on the web about it, because a lot of your career in web development, if you're looking for a career, or if you're looking to pursue web development in any sense, you need to know how to find things online, right? This obviously I'll show you how to do this in the solution video, but it's better if you try to find this out yourself, because that skill will actually help you a lot when you proceed to web development professionally, right? So and the last thing, you can see I have placeholders here, and that's all. So you have to make this. So again, I suggest that you try it out once yourself, and just pause the video once, go try it out, then we'll start with the solution. All right. So I hope you've tried this out yourself. So, and now we're going to start with the solution. If you haven't, please try this out once yourself. All right. So I'll open my VS Code. I have an untitled open here, and I'll now make this short, right? So the first thing that I'm going to make is the structure of the page. And I'll take the custom template for this one. Okay, this isn't saved. So I'll save this. I'll save this as solution 2.html. Right. Now I can take my basic HTML template from here, and while making this form to tell you what it would be like in the previous one, in this exercise 2.html, I actually typed this out myself. So I mean, you should type it out yourself first until you're comfortable in doing this. Only then should you start using the shortcut, right? So first the title is going to be form exercise. Now we're going to name that H1. The next, we're going to make a paragraph. And I'm not going to type this all again. I'll just copy this and paste this down here. So now the next thing is directly the form, right? So I'll make the form. I'll cut the action, because everything in a form, all the inputs have to be inside a form tag, right? As that's actually what you will need in the backend. So you should be in the practice of using everything inside the form tag beforehand. So I'll first add my inputs. So this is the way you can add an input. This is a shortcut. You enter input, colon and the type of input, and when you press enter, it will give you the proper input type by itself, right? I'll give the ID empty. I'll give the ID now. This should be name. The next input I need is of type month. So I'll do this. I'll remove the name. I'll give the ID as month. And the next input I need is of type city. No, it's of type text. I'm sorry. I'll remove the name and I give the name as ID as city, right? Now note I'm giving different IDs to all of them, and that is something you must do. You cannot give same IDs to two elements because that would not be a characteristic of HTML, right? The last thing is an input of type password. I'll do that. I'll remove the name and I'll give the ID as password. So now if I open this up, I see that I have a basic structure ready, but there are a lot of things missing. The first thing is that these are on separate lines. So I'll do that with BR tags. I'll duplicate this line. Again, duplicating is shift plus alt plus down. And then in Mac, you can do alt plus down to move this line down once in VS Code. And you might try a similar thing with alt in Windows. Or you will just manually write this again or copy or paste this manually again. That isn't obviously a problem. And the one thing that we're missing here is the button. I'll do an input type equal to submit, and here we can see the value is give data. So now if I go here and refresh, I see I have my inputs in place and I have my button in place. That's fine. So now I need these. So again, a recap from the last video. We could add this like this, but to increase the clickable region, that I click on name and I get to name, I click on this text right here and the input gets selected. I would have to use what is known as a label, right? That's why I gave the IDs to all of them. Here I make a label, and before I'll enter the ID of the input, which is name in this case, and I'll do name, right? Now here I'll do a label, and it will be for month, and it will be birth month. Next thing I need is a label for city. It will be city. The next thing is a label for password, and you say password, and you can say, you can see here that I've written optional because password is not required. We'll add the requirement thing in the end. And now, so if I go to my page and refresh, I see I have my form and I click on the text and it selects the input. So that's working just fine. So now we have a couple of things left. The first is the required thing. If I submit this right now, it submits. You can see that it's reloading right here, meaning it's submitting, right? And while here, if I try to submit without entering the name, the birth month, or the city, it tells me to fill in the field. So that is done through an attribute known as required. And this is one of the type of attributes that do not require a value. You can just write required here at the end of the input, and then the input will become of type required. I'll do that for month, city, and name. And I will not do that for the password because the password is optional. And now if I refresh, I cannot submit without the name. I cannot submit without the birth month, and similarly for the city. So our form is now ready, and this is exactly what we were aiming for here, except the placeholder. So what the placeholder is this small faded text that we're getting here. So for the name, we'll be doing something like placeholder is equal to name. Here we'll do placeholder equal to, there's no placeholder in document. Here I'll do placeholder is equal to city. Or let's do something different. Let's make it Delhi to give them an example of what's happening. And for the name, we'll just leave it as name. And for the password, we're going to do placeholder password. Now if I refresh my page, I see my form has been made completely, and it's the basic kind of form that you would have on any website. So now there's only one thing that I want to demonstrate in this video, and that is the use of comments. So now you can see here that these are 28 lines, but this specific set of lines here is not very readable, right? We know what we've done here, that's why we're able to read this. But if some other developer want to come and read it, they'd have to spend a minute in trying to understand what's happening here. And here I'd like to show you the code that I wrote in making this thing right here, which is actually the same, just I notice there's capital F here and small there, that doesn't matter. And that is the same, but here's the code to that. So here I've used comments as you would use them in a professional and good code. So I said main heading of the page here, and I gave the heading. I wrote short description here, and I gave the description. Then I wrote main form tag. So we know that, okay, this is starting here. Now this is quite evident in this small code, like 43 lines, but in long codes you might lose track of what's happening, and due to their extremely different color green, no other things are green color in the whole HTML document, you can see it's easy to actually identify where's the form tag and where's the other tag that we're using if we're using something else, right? And I have different comments for all of the inputs here. And I still use BR. I would not do that normally. Nobody would. But that's because you don't know what a div is. So that's all for this video. We have the solution here. We have what we had there. And I'll see you in the next one. And in the next video, we are going to conclude with HTML. Thank you. Bye.